Welcome to Personal Development Mastery Podcast episode... Well, wait a minute. Let's change that a little bit, shall we? Welcome to episode 199, and just saying this number makes me have anticipation about the upcoming episode 200, the milestone in many ways, episode 200. And as you've already heard from the new music track, the next episode of the podcast is going to be different, very unique, and actually something that I haven't done before. And today I will share with you 3 reasons why you really don't want to miss next week's celebratory episode 200. And before I do that, these days also coincide with the second birthday of Personal Development Mastery Podcast. So 2 years ago, in February 2020, I launched this podcast with an intention to inspire you, the listener of the podcast, to take some action towards improving your life. And fast forward to today, 200 episodes, 140 guests, tens of thousands of downloads in over 100 countries, and being in the global 2% of podcasts. I've had as my guests some legendary personal development experts like Brian Tracy and Dr. John DeMartini, and even though all this may sound impressive, I'm not sharing them to brag. The reason why I'm doing the podcast is not about the numbers at all. It is about making a difference. It's about being authentic to who I am and doing what I'm passionate about and gifted at. And it's about giving you, who listens to this, the inspiration to change and some actionable items, implementable steps that you can take. And I want to express here my sincere gratitude to you for listening, subscribing, reviewing the podcast. I appreciate and celebrate you, and I'm looking forward to a phenomenal 3rd year of the podcast. So for this next celebratory episode 200, I am honored to be joined by someone who has been a huge influence in my personal development journey over the last few years. And my guest is actually the one asking me the questions. So it's like a reflective, a mirrored interview or conversation, if you prefer. And I will play here a little snippet of the episode so you can get an idea of who this person is. I have the biggest respect for you. I love your podcast, and you have interviewed some amazing people, and you're doing also a wonderful job as a fellow podcaster. And thinking about this special episode 200 and coinciding with the 2 years of Personal Development Mastery Podcast, I believe you are the most appropriate person to be sharing this conversation with. So that's my short introduction of who is it that shares this episode with me. It's exciting, isn't it? Some of the things we discussed was my own understanding and explanation of what personal development mastery is. Another thing, and difficult question indeed, was my top 5 favorite episodes out of these 200. So yes, I'm sharing those. I also talked about light bulb moments that I had as a result of the podcast, and we also discussed some of the biggest turning points in my life. And there was also a question that I was not prepared to answer, but I enjoyed very much my intuitive response. And the question was, if I could rub Aladdin's lamp and have any 3 guests in my show, who would they be? So I invite you to join us next Monday, 14th of February, for the celebratory episode 200 of Personal Development Mastery Podcast, a very unique, different and fresh episode. And to celebrate the 2 years and 200 episodes of the podcast, we'll also do a competition. So, the first 5 wonderful people who will write a review for Personal Development Mastery on Apple Podcasts will win a one-to-one coaching call with me, and I will help you with your personal development issues or challenges. So, go to Apple Podcasts and leave me a 5-star review. Write about your experience with the show, your thoughts and feelings about it, and then email me at 𝘁rep𝗸𝗲𝘄𝘆𝘀.com to tell me that you've done it. And if you are one of the first 5, you will win a one-to-one coaching call with me through Zoom. I'm looking forward to reading your reviews and to the celebratory episode 200 and a phenomenal 3rd year of the podcast with personal development mastery, inspiring conversations, actionable items you can implement to take your life to the next level. And again, my sincere gratitude to you for listening. I appreciate and celebrate you. Until next time, stand out, don't fit in.